Five Nights at Freddy's is a video game made by Scott Cawthon. And so is Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Five Nights at Freddy's 4, Five Nights at Freddy's Location, Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator, Ultimate Custom Night, Five Nights at Freddy's Hotline, Five Nights at Freddy's Security, Five Nights at Freddy's Scary Movie, Five Nights at Freddy's and Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. In 2015, right after Scott Cawthon released FNAF 3, Warner Brothers announced a FNAF movie. It was later moved to Blumhouse and released in 2023. It was the biggest horror movie of that year, earning over $300 million globally. Although, it would have done way better if it hadn't have been simultaneously streaming on Peacock and in theaters at the same time. Anyways, it has a sequel now. So, what are my thoughts on the movie?
I mean, it's alright,
Even as a huge FNAF fan, I still have many criticisms towards the movie. It didn't really live up to my expectations all that much, but that doesn't make it a terrible movie. It does have some amazing moments which I absolutely need to talk about. For one, the intro is absolute cinema. Charlotte Emily is an odd girl who is obsessed with this marionette animatronic. She sees a boy being lured into a back room by a creepy bunny man and quickly tells every parent in the room, only for them to disregard her pleading for help. She then sneaks into the back room herself and brings the boy back outside while being chased down by Afton. She lets out a scream of rage and collapses to the ground with stab wounds in her back. This, in my opinion, might be the best opening scene I've ever seen in any movie. I just really wish the rest of the movie lived up to it. They really bumped up the horror in this one. The first movie had absolutely no horror in it whatsoever. But unfortunately, none of the horror in this movie had much build-up at all. Anyways, at first, I thought casting Megan Fox as Toy Chica and Matt Pat as Toy Bonnie were very strange decisions. But I was proved very wrong. They each performed the roles extremely well. None of Matt Pat's voice can be heard in Toy Bonnie at all. I overall love Vanessa's storyline of always being terrified of her father. It shows just how much of an impact Afton left on everyone around him. Also, why does she hide everything from Mike? There shouldn't be much of a reason for this besides her being afraid to get neglected for giving him information. But in the end, this backfires. Her brother comes out of nowhere and is like, "Yeah, I exist." And that immediately breaks Mike's trust with her. Vanessa's brother is someone that I'm sure all FNAF fans are familiar with, Michael Afton. Why is he even here? There's already a main character named Michael. He was only in 2 scenes in the entire movie. In the end, he reveals his evil plans of carrying on his father's legacy of murder. And that's literally all he does. He gets defeated by the fist of Mike's old friend from the first movie, who just came out of nowhere. Michael also lured the paranormal investigators, including McKenna Grace, who played a role beautifully, into being murdered in the new pizzeria. And by the way, these are the 3 out of the 4 kills in the entire movie. The kills definitely need to step up in the 3rd one. Please, Scott, I need this. My Fazbear's kinda homeless. Michael Afton in this movie is also the complete opposite of the one we play as in the games. In the games, he tried to fix his own mistakes and his father's mistakes. Well, in the movie, he's literally just his father. Another character with wasted potential in this movie is Henry Emily. He is the father of Charlotte Emily. He has literally 1 scene in the entire movie. He does absolutely cook in that scene, but it's just not enough. The most he does is give Mike his music box so he can delay Vanessa's inevitable fate to the puppet. He also had a scene in the end credits where he had a videotape of him telling Mike about how Afton used to be his business partner and all that. But aside from that, wasted potential. I hope he comes back like he did in FNAF 6 and burns everything to the ground. As a side note, his actor, Skeet Ulrich, and Afton's actor, Matthew Lillard, both had roles in Scream as partners in crime. I don't really like what they did with the puppet all that much either. They turned her from being very caring into being a murderous sociopath. The reason for this is in the intro of the movie. I do understand this from a movie maker's perspective though. They just needed more drama in their movie. The reason why the puppet even starts her rampage is because McKenna Grace stuffed her music box. The reason for the toy animatronics is because the marionette can somehow control them. The reason for the wizards is because Mike accidentally started their AI system while casually playing FNAF 2. Side note, I love the fact that some of FNAF 2 gameplay is in here. The first FNAF movie had absolutely zero FNAF 1 gameplay in it. Anyways, the puppet gets around by taking over her victims' bodies. I think this was just a lazy attempt to save money. The model they made for the puppet is just beautiful. I wish they had it in more of the movie. Instead, we just get McKenna Grace with long fingers and face paint. At the end of the movie, while Vanessa was crying over losing Mike as a friend, the puppet sneaks in from behind her, turning Vanessa into her brand new host. I kinda like that actually. It's an amazing cliffhanger, and I can't wait for FNAF 3. Initially, I assumed that once the puppet takes over someone's body, they're automatically dead. Which is why I was extremely shocked when Abby, a main character with plot armor, became her host. I didn't think Scott Phone Man had the guts to kill off a main character. But then Mike came in with the music box, and the puppet floats away, leaving Abby with a tummy ache. What's the script, man? You know what score Rotten Tomatoes gave it? 12%. That is dastardly. That is half of what the first movie got. FNAF 2 definitely didn't deserve this low of a rating. It is an 89% for fans though. Oh no, it's a FNAF 1 movie all over again. The Newton brothers are back with their banger in the intro. Somewhere else in the movie, a certain special song plays. I swear I'm not joking, this actually happens in the movie. The entire movie theater I was in bursted out into laughter. But of course, it isn't a FNAF movie without a certain song in the end credits. Yep, that's the one. Anyways, I'd give Five Nights at Freddy's 2 a 6 or 7 out of 10. Wait, no, that's not what I meant. Wait, no! Abby's teacher definitely deserved to die. I'm glad that he did. He's such a...
I can't say.